You ever wonder what retirement looks like when you're not on a golf course, but at war for your own land? Let me tell you, it ain't a brochure. My name's Bob Ashton. I used to carry a badge. 22 years with the Lamer County Sheriff's Department, chasing every kind of scumbag you can imagine. I thought I was done with all that. Bought myself a humble patch of Colorado earth. 2 acres tucked against the pines, decent house, honest fence line, even a porch swing I bolted in myself. The old man who sold it to me, Val Harris, was a war vet with a handshake you could hang a door on. Keep it safe. Keep it free. He told me, hands trembling, eyes steel steady. You don't forget that kind of charge. But let me back up a sec. See, my place sits right between a soulless HOA. Called Ridge Hollow. Think Stepford Wives with legal pads, and a logistics company itching to slice a delivery road straight through my garden. Both sides circling like wolves. First year. Contractor tries to lay a fiber line at midnight. I catch him, Red Bull in one hand, shovel in the other, muttering about city permits. He left with a summons and a bruised ego. Second year. Landscaping crew from Ridge Hollow shows up with clippers and clipboards, talking about community beautification. Not a chance, not past my gate. Third year. Someone claims my place is abandoned. Inspector rolls up and finds me cleaning my shotgun on the porch. You get the picture. I learned quick. Quiet's just the break between storms. Then comes Karen McDaniels. Oh, you know the type. Freshly minted HOA president, hair curled, sunglasses big enough to block out accountability, calls herself a visionary but acts like a border guard. She shows up with 2 rent-a-cops and a folder like she's about to lay down the law. Says my land's been reassigned, now part of their community space, as if I'd been squatting on my own dirt. She threatens cops, legal action, the works. I laugh. You picked the wrong house, I tell her. But she just flashes that HOA grin. You know the one. Like she's already ordered new mulch for my grave. A couple days later, thick envelope lands in my mailbox, logo and all. Notice of parcel reclassification. 21 pages of legal barf, some GIS overlays, codes, threats, fines. Hell, they even stuck in a pink slip labeled final warning. I scan every document I own, send it to my lawyer buddy Dana, and double back it to the county just in case. She calls me that evening. They're trying to fake jurisdiction, Bob. If you don't fight now, they'll set a precedent and you'll be HOA for life. My gut twists. Within days, it's like a paper avalanche. Compliance notices, penalty bills, glossy HOA welcome packets, with a 15% mulch coupon, because why not? A parade of envelopes meant to drown me in red tape. I'm outnumbered, but not outmatched. I walk the property with the original plat map, take geotagged photos, upload everything to the cloud, start building my own case. But the real gut punch. Neighbors who used to wave now cross the street. Kids start tossing cans in my ditch. Then comes the unsigned flyer. Your presence is disruptive. Please do the right thing and vacate. Aerial photo with a red circle around my house, like I'm a target on a game board. And then, like clockwork, cops show up at dawn. My old partner Colin steps out, face tighter than a drum, says there's a temporary possession order. Some judge, retired and backdated, signs off, claims my house isn't illegal. Shack on municipal land. I show the deed. Doesn't matter. You can challenge it in court, he says, but for now, I've got 10 minutes to grab my things. Karen shows up, Starbucks in hand. Like she's come to see the circus. Deputies tape off my porch. As I'm leaving, Karen snaps a photo. I smile. She has no idea what kind of war she just started. I end up in holding for 6 hours, humiliated, pissed, calculating. The second I'm out, I call Rick, an assistant DA, and Marcy, now a state land commission analyst, both ex-cop pals with zero patience for games. By sunset, my cheap motel room's a war room. Emails fly, evidence piles up. Turns out, the reassignment was rammed through by a dead judge, processed from a Ridge Hollow office, and signed off using a notary, who lost her license for, get this, notarizing whatever hit her desk. Then the HOA files a forged document, claims the previous owner, Val, handed over the land 3 days before he died. I call Val's son in Texas. Hell no, he says. Val was in hospice, couldn't even write his name. He flies up, brings medical records, nurse's affidavit, the works. The evidence snowballs. My surveyor buddy Vernon pulls drone footage from a fire inspection 3 years ago, shows the real boundary lines, never moved. Even better? He finds Ridge Hollow's own trail cam with video of Karen and her board, spray painting new markers, caught red-handed. Dana files a restraining order. Court freezes everything. HOA board panics. Emails surface. Karen calls it acquisition by any means. Phase 2, bragging about recycling historical documentation. That's legalese for forging, by the way. The logistics firm's CEO? Turns out, he's been promised my land in exchange for a lucrative right-of-way, caught in the email chain. Once we neutralize the Ashton obstacle, we finalize access. Neutralize, like I'm a pest. By Monday, the judge grants a formal hearing, evidence spilling into the open like guts at a crime scene. The twist? The same forged signature used on my deed was also used in a previous land grab. Pattern of abuse, clear as daylight. Jury takes one look and doesn't even blink. Karen gets 13 years, her board cronies get less, logistics firm gets hammered with fines, and Ridge Hollow HOA is dissolved on the spot. My property, locked behind a legal force field. Judge even recommends new laws to protect against this kind of scam statewide. First night back home, I just sit on the porch swing, let the wind push me. Feels like exhaling after holding your breath for a year. I hang a new sign, etched aluminum, not subject to any HOA. All interference is documented and stored off-site. This land is not for sale, not for lease, not for compromise. News crews call. I ignore them. I just want coffee and silence. But folks start reaching out. Owners, board members, city planners, all wanting help. So now, I spend a few hours a week walking others through their own HOA battles. Retired cop property armor, I call it. The best part? Val's son stands with me by the new gate one afternoon, says, "You did right by him." Maybe I did. And you know what? Now there's a bill moving through the State House, the Harris-Ashton bill, making it illegal for HOAs to change boundaries or seize property without direct owner consent and a judge's review. Maybe that's what justice looks like out here. Slow, stubborn, loud enough to echo off the pines. So, here's my question for you. Where do you stand on this? Should a bunch of paper pushers get to decide who owns what? Or does the line in the dirt still mean something? Drop a comment, tell me where you're watching from, and let's hear your take. Because one thing's for sure, this story's not done yet, not by a long shot. See, when word got out about the Ridge Hollow takedown, things started rolling fast, and not always in ways you'd expect. News vans lined up at the gate for weeks, snapping photos, calling at all hours. I never gave an interview, but it didn't matter. My name was out there, and suddenly, every homeowner with a nightmare HOA story was blowing up my inbox. Some of their tales made mine look tame. Fake fines, forged ballots, people losing the homes their parents built with their own hands. I heard from a woman in Arizona, 2 states over, whose HOA tried to bulldoze her vegetable garden for community uniformity. Guy in Oregon got his driveway repainted pink as punishment. Crazy, right? But the part that really stuck with me? Half these people were scared to even fight back. They'd seen what happened to me and thought, if that's what it takes, maybe I'll just pay the fine and keep my head down. I couldn't let that stand, you know? Not after everything I'd seen. So I did the only thing that made sense. I opened my door. Folks started coming by, sometimes driving hours just to talk. I kept the coffee hot and the advice honest. Get your documents straight. Document everything. Don't trust a smile from someone who shows up with a clipboard. Dana, my lawyer, even started a little side project, an unofficial HOA defense hotline, pro bono at first, then with a suggested donation to cover coffee and printer paper. Before I knew it, we had a loose network of folks all across the state, swapping tips, sharing legal templates, offering to testify for each other. I'd wake up and check my email. Some days it was just thank yous. Other days it was desperate questions. Can they really force me out for painting my door red? Or what if the HOA president is dating the zoning officer? Most of the time, the answer was not legally. But get ready for a fight. A few months went by like that, one foot in the past, one in this weird new present where I was some kind of folk hero for stubborn homeowners everywhere. It felt good, but trouble has a long memory, and Ridge Hollow wasn't the only HOA with dirty tricks up their sleeve. See, the logistics company, The one that wanted my land for their shortcut, they didn't just slink off after losing their inside deal. Turns out, they had friends in other neighborhoods, other boards, and pretty soon, they started pushing for state legislation to make eminent domain for commercial efficiency a thing. You believe that? They wanted a law that would let HOAs and private companies carve up parcels if it meant faster delivery times or, get this, improved regional synergy. That's when I realized this wasn't just about me or even Ridge Hollow. This was bigger. So, I found myself back in a suit, sitting in a fluorescent-lit committee room at the State House, Dana on one side, Marcy on the other, both more comfortable with a stack of files than a crowd. Rick, my old DA pal, testified too, laying out the paper trail like a crime scene. I spoke last, told them what happened, no drama, no bravado, just facts, and the bottom line. If you let these folks rewrite property lines with a keyboard and a notary stamp, I said, there won't be a single safe deed in Colorado within 5 years. One of the senators actually said, "You sound paranoid, Mr. Ashton." I just grinned. With respect, Senator, I used to think paranoia was a weakness. Now I call it self-preservation. The fight over the Harris-Ashton bill was ugly. Lobbyists threw money at it, tried to water it down, tried to paint people like me as obstructionists standing in the way of progress. But we had something stronger. People, stories, proof. Every hearing, folks showed up, retired teachers, young families, even a couple of ex-HOA board members who'd turned whistleblower. I watched as the bill went through 3 rewrites, then 4, then finally landed on the governor's desk. He signed it with all the cameras flashing, and for once, I didn't mind the attention. We'd done something that might actually stick. Meanwhile, life at the Bastion, the name's official now, painted right on the mailbox, settled into a new normal. A little more company. A little less trust in envelopes, but a hell of a lot more hope. Val's son, Matthew, came by again, this time with his own boy in tow. Wanted him to see what standing your ground looks like. He told me. We grilled steaks, swapped stories, laughed at the kind of trouble that used to keep us up at night. But if you think that's the end, think again. Just last week, I found a drone, buzzing low over my back fence. Brand new, fresh out of the box, no markings. Somebody, somewhere, is still watching, still hoping for a mistake, a weak spot, maybe another loophole they can slip through. But here's the truth. I sleep easy now. Not because I trust the system, but because I know how to fight, and I know I'm not alone. So, here's my question for you. If you had to stand your ground, would you? Or would you just sign the paper, pay the fine, and move on? Because the real line between right and wrong isn't drawn on a survey map or in some dusty law book. It's drawn by the folks who refuse to let it get erased, no matter how many times they get knocked down. Let me know what you do in the comments, because I think we're just getting started, and I want to know who's in my corner.